What's up? This is Gardy with Clear Life Media, Clear Life Combat. I have a guest that's zooming in. I'm going to let him introduce himself. We're going to find out everything that he has going on. Hey, what's up?
What up, dude? I'm Jackson Glass, fighting out of Austin, Texas. Basically, at Ambush and Fight Factory, as well as BT.
Very cool. So you had a productive weekend. What did you have going on?
Last Friday night, I fought at Fury FC 102, San Antonio, Texas. It's a really stacked card. I got to fight on the main card on UFC Fight Pass. I ended up winning my fight by decision, won all 3 rounds, and it's a really good fight. Had a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, there was a lot of support. You walked out a ton of noise you could pick up from the broadcast. Could you feel that out there?
Oh yeah, as soon as I walked out, I saw all my friends and family out there. There was well over 100 people there, uh, just from people that I know. It was really cool to see. Every time I walk out, I expect a lot of noise. I know a lot of people are coming, but I didn't know that many people were coming. There's a lot of people I haven't seen in a couple of years came out to watch, so super cool to see.
The difference from amateur to pro, was there anything noticeable for you and anything?
For this one, we added in elbows and knees to the head, and now all subs are illegal. So, you definitely saw me throw a lot of elbows out there. My right elbow is still pretty sore. I tried to go for a couple leg attacks. I had a somewhat deep bite on a inside heel hook at one point, but I wasn't able to finish it. But it was cool to kind of be able to do everything that I've been training for the past couple of years. I've been training with leg locks, the past like 5, 6 years probably. That was really cool. Getting to throw elbows was really fun. But just being able to feel a little more free. Now I have to worry about if I throw the wrong strike or do the wrong submission, I'm going to get DQ'd or warned, just being able to feel pretty free out there.
Watching the fight, it looked like there was a couple of instances where the ref could have went in and stopped it. Did you feel the same way, or what did you think?
I don't think so, to be honest, just because there was such little time left in the round. The end of the first round, I believe there was like 3 seconds left when I dropped them. So I understand why they let it go. I do think if there's maybe 5, 10 seconds left, the fight probably would have been stopped if I got to land a couple more shots on the ground. Um, but I know he had a little bit of trouble getting up, but he was able to recover very well, and he came back in the second round and was still in there. So.
Were you happy, or even your coach is happy? I guess just to get more cage time. I mean, you hadn't been out of the first round with your two previous fights, but to get that experience.
Yeah, I think this one was really good. I haven't between Muay Thai and MMA. I don't think I've been to a decision in like over 2.5 years. So I think it was good to kind of get some cage time. And most of my Muay Thai fights were only 2 minute rounds. And if it goes 3 rounds, it's only a 6 minute fight, which is basically one round in MMA. So getting able to do a 15-minute fight going all 3 rounds with a pretty high pace between grappling and striking, I think that was really good. And now I kind of understand what that's like. So yeah, I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, I'm not an expert by any means, but I thought, your leg attacks, there was some, like you said, you had an inside heel hook and had a pretty good bite on it, but you also did a good job of using it to get into a more dominant position or working to get on top. I mean, how much do you drill that, and was that the goal?
Yeah, in grappling or in MMA, like when I spar or roll in jiu-jitsu, like K guard is probably one of my better guards, especially in MMA, because there's not a lot of guys that know leg locks or know about how to defend really K guard. So I think that, it is definitely really good to do in training, and I do a lot. But I think also being able to use it to come on top is important. I don't want to be one of those guys that kind of just tries to play off my back for a while and keep hunting it if it doesn't work. And I went for a couple attacks, it didn't work, so I was like, all right, let me try to come on top, making sure I'm trying to do some damage. I wasn't able to do as much damage on the ground as I would like, but I was still trying to like just constantly keep moving, constantly keep the pace up.
Being on the main card, but I guess it's an interesting place. Did you have a chance to watch any other fights?
I didn't get to watch too many. I got there early enough where the prelims were still kind of going on, but it was kind of like once I got there, I was in the back most of the time, so I didn't get to watch a ton of the fights.
Yeah, it was a good card. There was some good fights on that, and San Antonio looked like came out to support. Overall the whole event really.
Yeah, it was super stacked card.
Yeah. So after this fight, we've talked about it. What's the game plan? You got that first pro fight in, and what are you looking at the rest of this year?
We're gonna take it a little bit slower. I wanted to get about 3 fights in each year. I think that's a good kind of pace, I guess. So we'll take a couple months from fighting. I fought like 3 times in 5 months, something like that. I love fighting, but I also understand that I need to kind of progress a little bit better because I'm only going to get tougher competition from here, making sure I'm improving in all aspects. My striking, my wrestling, my my jiu-jitsu, everything. Hopefully around May or June was kind of the plan. But we'll see where things go.
What about trials? There were some people that were excited to see you go test yourself at trials.
Yeah, I mean, I told my parents and my coaches and friends that I 100% want to do trials this year, and I still want to compete in some ADCC Opens. I know they're doing an Oklahoma Open in April. I'm probably gonna do that with a couple of my friends. Um, there's gonna be a Dallas Open in June, I believe, so I'll probably do that one as well, depending on where my fight kind of lines up. But I just enjoy competing. You only get to live this life once, and I don't want to miss out on those opportunities. Regardless if it's a local jiu-jitsu tournament, I just enjoy getting to go out there and compete. Especially when a lot of my friends are doing it too. It's always fun competing with your friends and just going out there and scrapping.
What about outside of fighting? I know, fighting is pretty much, your life right now, but what kind of goals or aspirations or things do you have, in the works outside of fighting?
To be honest, not too much outside of fighting. I try to just give 100% to fighting. It's all I really do. There's not a whole lot to my life outside of fighting, but I think that's what it kind of has to be for the goals that I have to be one of the best ever.
Yeah. I watch I guess William Tackett, maybe it was in the summer, but he went, doing some like just like off grid, like things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, do you enjoy anything like that?
I definitely enjoy stuff like I would go do stuff like that. There's stuff I enjoy doing with my friends. I like to play paintball here and there. I'm kind of a baby outside of fighting. I don't like to, I get more scared playing paintball than fighting. But there's things I would definitely try. I like to travel a lot as well.
Yeah.
But most of the time it's all fighting though.
Right. Yeah. Whenever we go do a broadcast for a fight, we'll do these questions, to people on paper. Hey, you're fighting. What kind of things interest you outside of fighting? Fishing. I got dogs. I got video games, or I hang out with my, if they have kids, or some of those things. And sometimes it's a struggle because, especially in that moment, if you're at weigh-ins or anything, like your mind's, you're locked in. But I think it's important to try and find those things, even
For
like
sure.
what people call like active recovery. You're still, hiking or doing something like that. But
Yeah.
how soon after the fight this past weekend were you back in there training?
I believe I fought Friday night at about 8 p.m. and then I was back at B Team Saturday morning at 10. I didn't really train that much, but I was just there. I was watching Nicky Rod do a couple matches. He's getting ready for a big match coming up. Damian Anderson was helping me with a lot of positions just for my fight. So even though I wasn't, scrapping super hard, I was still just kind of going over stuff for my fight. And I just love being in the gym. I love being around my friends and teammates and just kind of watching them train. If I'm not training super hard, I still enjoy just watching my teammates train.
Yeah. Did you immediately go back and watch your fight later that night or no?
I believe that night I didn't watch it that night. I watched it the next morning. After my fight, we went to like Pete Terry's and I fell asleep right after. And I was just too tired, so I went to bed. But the next day, I ended up watching it.
Jackson, is there anything else that you would like to share?
I just want to shout out my coach Elton Wells at Ambush Coach on Instagram. This is my 20th fight with him, and I've won all my fights between Muay Thai and MMA with him. And we've been around the world. I fought in Canada, fought in Iowa, fought in Texas, got a lot of different places. So I just want to say big shout out to him. I'm very grateful for him, and I believe one day he's gonna be one of the most known coaches in all of MMA. So I think that's something to really pay attention to. I want to shout out to my teammates, Damian Anderson. His arm is hurt pretty bad, but he still showed up, cornered me. Was helping me the day after my fight, even though his arm is really messed up right now. I appreciate all he does for me. He's a great teammate. I wouldn't want another teammate. And then I want to shout out Cold Jiu-Jitsu on Instagram. Davis has always been there for me. He's been driving me around before I could drive for 2 years, every single day. We were in the gym 6 to 8 hours every day. He was making sure I was at every class. No gi, we're doing MMA together. He's helping me drill after class, before class. So big shout out to him because he's kind of been like an older brother for me the past couple of years. So big shout out to them. And then kind of all my different sponsors, LXB, Armbar. Shout out to you guys for doing these interviews with me and always supporting me. And then just the gyms that I train at, Ambush Muay Thai, B Team, and Fight Factory.
Thank you so much for making time. I know you got a lot going on. Probably gonna go train and get some good stuff in. So I appreciate you.
course, bro. Thank you.
This is Guardy with Clear Life Media, Clear Life Combat. Y'all be blessed.